Today I unbox and review the Modular Work Light from PowerProbe Tech. The part number on this guy is PMWL1000. Each module has a 250 lumen rating, so the entire unit with all four modules is rated for 1,000 lumens. It's rechargeable and up to 6 hours of runtime on the low setting. When you open the box, it comes with the base unit with all four modules, box that has the tripod adapter, and the charger. And also the manual that gives you a basic set of instructions. It's just a very simple trifold manual, which is apparently impossible to unfold. And it gives you a full list of specs. And along the back, it just gives you a breakdown of the pieces and the features, as well as a getting started panel. Pretty simple. The base unit has a magnet on the side as well as magnets along the back. It also has the mounting hole for your tripod adapter. There's your hole. And a couple of magnets there. There's no magnet on one of the sides, just on the other. Now be careful. If you were to use that magnet, it is strong enough where you can mount this horizontally, believe it or not, but the problem is it doesn't take much to knock this thing loose and drop it onto a hard surface. Can it take a drop? Well, I know from firsthand experience that it can. Yeah, but I don't recommend you try that. It really is intended more to be hung, say, vertically using that magnet. And you don't have the same concerns if you're using the ones in the back, because that'll mount fairly flush and it's more difficult to knock off its mount. Each module has its own release latch. Do not push the latch down toward the light module in an effort to release it, because that's not the way that's designed to work. That latch is affixed to the base unit, not the light. And if you're anything like me, you will spend a half hour trying to understand how to get these modules out of here because you're pushing the latch in the wrong direction. So push it up toward the edge of the housing, and the light module just pops up and you release it that way. It exposes the hook and the magnet, and this guy swivels so you can just swivel it out of the way, and now it becomes far more useful. Each module has its own power switch, and when you turn it on, it comes on to medium, then goes to high, and hitting it a third time turns it off. The mounts inside the unit have this spring clip that push the module up once you release the latch, and the charging contacts are in the back. The base unit has a charging port underneath here and a cover. And a power switch which turns on all the modules, or whichever modules you have mounted in the base unit. And when you turn the entire unit on, it comes on low, press it one more time for high, and then a third time turns it off. There can be a synchronization issue apparently with some of these modules where if they don't all come on or off at the same time, you just press and hold that power button for 3 seconds. It resets the synchronization on all the modules, and then they'll all come on and off again at the same time. The cool thing about this is, of course, the versatility, where each individual module can be used outside of the base unit, and then, of course, the lights that remain in the base unit can be used as well. And although I would never say this is a heavy-duty unit, it's a fairly rugged design. Each module is IP65 rated against dust and moisture, and the base unit is IP54 rated. So you don't have to worry so much about a little bit of dust or some moisture getting on the unit. It can take it. And it is a fairly rugged housing, but again, I would never market this as a heavy-duty unit. So be careful, especially if you use this end magnet on the base unit to mount it, because there is a fall hazard associated with that. And of course, if you crack or break the housing, then it's difficult to repair this kind of plastic. So just use it carefully, and it should last you a good long time. And it even says right on it that it is suitable for wet location use. I wouldn't leave it out in the rain overnight. Who is this solution best suited for? It's no secret that if you're a technician or a mechanic, or even if you're a do-it-yourself or working at home on the weekends, you have to have a lot of bright, white, reliable light, because the dark areas in an engine compartment, underneath a dashboard, or under a car chassis are significant, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, to work effectively if you're not knocking out those shadows. So even if you're in the bright light of the sun in your driveway, and you're casting harsh shadows onto an engine, or if you're in a poorly lit shop where you're working underneath a car or underneath the hood, you have to have a lighting solution like this in order to work effectively. This solution is particularly great because it's so versatile. Because each module has a magnet and a hook, how you mount it and where you mount it are really limitless. If you're working on a brake job, for example, you're going to stick it up into a wheel well. If you're doing an injector job on an engine, just stick it in those dark, hard-to-reach places where you can light that up easily. Or if you have an underhood bracket, stick the magnets to the underhood bracket and shine them into the engine compartment. Or use the tripod option so that you can set it up outside the engine to shine it in, or underneath the lift to shine it up. The cost of these is about the same as what you'd buy a Streamlight Stinger or Stryon setup for, but these are very different form factors which you would not necessarily use for the same applications as you would a flashlight like the Streamlight. So understand what it is your application would best suit you for before you make this purchase, because it's not cheap. But if you're brand new in the industry and you need some light, talk to your colleagues, see what would suit you best, see what they use. Talk to them about a solution like this to see if it's something that's best suited for you. And be careful how you spend your money, especially on the tool trucks. So in the future, keep an eye out, because we're going to have more unboxing videos, including some videos that have our flyer drop segments and some great toolbox and tool cart reviews. So do me a favor, click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, use a tool. Don't be one.